for me, there's a little bit more seriousness around one award than the other. I think when we're looking at FIFA, this has been established for a long time. There has been recognition over the course of decades, really, and Ballon d'Or has kind of just arrived, and they are still sort of trying to figure things out.
It has dropped. FIFA has announced their best nominees. It's a slew of different awards, and they've given, I don't know, everyone that's ever played soccer feels like a nominee.
Oh, I'm in there, right? I'm in there. I'm definitely in
Congratulations
there.
to
Give me
all.
the
Congratulations.
Marta award.
Congratulations to Christine. No, for reals. There are a lot of nominees for a lot of different ones, and we're going to talk about them. Let's start with the first one, FIFA's Marta Award. A lot of nominees in this one, 5 Americans. So I'll give those shout outs: Naomi Girma, Lindsay Horan, Trinity Rodman, Sophia Smith, Mallory Swanson, some other um, key names in this: Barbara Banda, Onya Batal, Atina Bonmati, Lucy Bronze, Mariona Caldente, Tabitha Shawinga, Carolyn Graham Hansen, Lauren Hemp, Selma Pariuelo, Kadisha Bunny Shaw, and Kira Walsh. Sandra, when these names dropped, how long did it take you to read them? No, for reals. Who stands out to you? Who's going to get the Marta Award?
Pretty long, not gonna lie, but I mean, a pretty good mix of nominees here. And listen, it's the Marta Award for a reason. I have to feel like maybe a more attacking player could walk away with this award, but if folks out there know ball, and if the voting on this is to measure from August 2023 to August 2024, maybe Naomi Girma gets in and breaks through into this one. We'll see. I'd love to see it.
Do you think that'll actually happen though?
No, do I think it'll actually happen? No, of course we want to be right here, Lisa. So I mean, I would imagine that maybe if there's front runners, I think a lot of folks are maybe going to go off of name recognition. So I wouldn't be surprised if Bonmati it walks away with this one. But I'd also really like to see Carolyn Graham Hansen walk away with a type of award like this year. I thought she's had a phenomenal year from again last August to this August, and I would argue has maybe surpassed a little bit in certain levels and stretches of the year. Bon Mati, when it comes to looking at Barca and a measured approach and how they've taken things game by game. And Hansen is absolutely maybe even rivaled her own teammate as far as level of importance to a squad. So perhaps maybe this is the one that Carolyn Graham Hansen gets after missing out on Ballon d'Or.
Christine, for you, I mean, Aitana Bonmati, she won the Ballon d'Or, and now she's
She
nominated
did.
for this too. Is it going to be the same? Like, is that how this is going to roll? What's going to happen with these awards?
I feel like there's usually like little deviation. I feel like it's pretty much like, yeah, I wouldn't be shocked if Bomati got it as well. But also I was like watching back the like Marta Award like goal nominees, and some of them I'm like, yeah, that's a nice goal, but I don't know, I like to see some deviation. Like there's a lot more like, granted you're nominating like 100 players, it's hard to call that. But like, like, would be nice to see, like, a Shawinga shout.
Yeah. It's also nominated or it's voted on differently, right? Ballon d'Or is media personnel, and the winners of FIFA the Best Football Awards are decided by fans, current players, and then coaches of national teams, plus some media representatives. So there's a bit of a mix in who gets in this. I don't think there are any snubs, frankly, from this
How could
FIFA's
you snub
Marta
anybody?
Award.
Everybody's included.
Right,
Yeah.
everyone's in this. I think the shout for Carolyn Graham Hansen is really, really good. This is a player that could have won the Ballon d'Or, probably should have. Aitana Bonmati has just been tremendous though this year with all she's done. I don't think it'll go to an American. I'll say that much. I just as
Yeah.
much as I want it to go to Naomi Girma, I don't think it will because of how this is voted on. Who knows? We'll see. They've also dropped the nominees for FIFA's best 11 and the forwards, right? We're going to take this position by position because that's just the best way for us to digest it. The best 11 forwards, again, a whole slew of names nominated for these. Sandra, who stands out to you on this list?
Well, obviously, I'm gonna go with the players who sharpen their skills in NWSL. Barbara Banda and Chewinga kind of stand out for me the most. I mean, we've got to see their incredible impact on the pitch for their respective clubs. But I think it also goes without saying that when you're looking at maybe Europe, maybe you're also taking a look at Mayra Ramirez and what she's done. Obviously, I'm high on Graham Hansen. This is a player for me that I think is gonna maybe walk away with some hardware for the FIFA best.
Christine, how cool is it that both Temwa Shawinga and Tabitha Shawinga are nominated this award? Think there's any
I
sibling rivalry there?
I love it. I'm sure there's probably some like undercurrent of sibling rivalry while outwardly they're like, "Ah, yes, this is lovely. Like we're besties. Are you kidding me? If I had to play with my sibling or against my sibling, maybe calling the cops." But um I would love that. And I know the chat has been popping off a little bit about like, hey, I hope we get to see like Tabitha in NWSL.
No,
And personally, yes, like
you're thrilled.
Blacko did try to bring her years back, but the landscape was different in NWSL, salary caps, different rules and whatnot. So I wouldn't be shocked if they revisit that conversation upcoming.
A couple of Americans also nominated in FIFA's Best 11 as the forwards: Trinity Rodman, Sophia Smith, Mallory Swanson. A lot of NWSL players in this mix as well. Adriana Banda.
Love to see it. I
Uh,
love Adriana.
Love to
Love.
see it. I know. Adriana is a very good shout. Kudananji is also in this mix.
Yeah.
There's a lot of good players.
Rudy.
Caroline, exactly. A lot of Brazilians, a lot of NWSL players. This is fun. I like this one. That forward group is a good one. Let's chat midfielders, though. FIFA's Best 11 midfielders, equally as many people nominated in this one.
Oh
A
boy.
couple NWSL players as well. Christine, who stands out to you from this list?
Just adding like a bit of diversity here. Like I love to see Guru Wrighton get on there because she's been outstanding. Giuliano for Roma has just been an absolute force. I feel like we don't talk about them a lot just because like Serie A Femminile doesn't get a lot of love. Um, but Coffee pulling up, I love that she's in that mix. Like she is a powerhouse. Like she really, really is. I feel like she still doesn't get enough of her flowers for the amount of work that she can get done just defensively and also like creating an impact in the attack. Uh
Sam Coffey
Kira,
and Lindsay
Kira
Moran.
Walsh, like I mean, of course she's in there. That's not really a surprise. Um
Didn't
yeah,
know
Hasegawa and then
Wonderful.
Kumagai, who both deserve shouts. Again, I feel like just because national team wise, they just don't get the amount of love that they deserve. But like club, they definitely deserve the hype.
Yeah,
Yeah,
Jewel Brand getting the shout, the
Oh,
German
that's
international.
David
mine.
David Frazier with the absolute taste. Yeah, New Skin is amazing.
Yeah, Sandra,
Yeah.
that's your shout for Brand?
Oh yeah. I think
Yeah, it's a good one.
throwback to the Olympics when, looking at the groups and how they were broken down and all of the chatter around how that team was going to function and missing such a key player, and they said your brand's got this. So I'm high on brand, and so I love that she's getting the shout here. And I mean look, I'm in agreement with all the players that Kupo and you have touched on already, but maybe also special shout to Toletti, Sandy Toletti, and who is a standout on a couple of teams that are kind of going through some things and trying to find their way over the last year, whether it's for France or for Real Madrid. Let's be real. So I think that she's kind of been that bright spot amongst teams that are maybe trying to figure it out through the gray areas, and maybe that's for her efforts. She's getting recognized with this nomination, and I mean maybe similar sentiments can be said for Quinn and their
Yep.
efforts and what they've done across the board. I mean, talk about a tough year, whether it's been for Canada or for Seattle Rain. And it's hard to maybe stand out when the headlines around your team are not exactly positive. But Quinn was out there doing it week in,
Not
week out.
even positive and negative, but winning. It's hard to be a standout player when your team is not winning, not picking up anything. Quinn, definitely one of those players that has struggled through that. They did it internationally and with club.
Mhm.
All right, attacking thirds, probably favorite. I'm going to be biased.
Yeah.
Category FIFA's Best 11 Defenders. 2 Americans nominated in this mix. Naomi Girma, of course, and Emily Fox in this mix as well. Sandra, we got to give the defense some love, but who stands out of this group in this mix of the defenders?
Yeah, 100% Fox, 100% Guillermo. I'm with you. Look, we want to see these Americans on that best 11, but gotta give some love to Lawrence as well. High on this player, thought that she's able to create an impact for her team. I think folks are gonna say, okay, McCabe out there doing it, but Jess Carter for me,
Jess
really,
Carter.
I'm loving it. Obviously got to see her keep things together for Gotham, but even coming off of this last game with England going up against the United States, just showing what she's got and what she's about and how she can really bring it on the pitch. So just Carter for me as well.
I like that shout. Lucy Bronze, Millie Bright. These are players for me that have been outstanding this year. Naomi Girma, though, she doesn't win the Marta Award. Maybe she'll get Best 11 Defender.
Maybe. Okay.
Christine, any defenders you want to shout or anyone
Yeah, I
missing?
do actually. I gotta go Gvin.
Yeah.
She is so good on and
Yeah.
off the ball. Really, really smart passer, able to get involved in the attack, and just like
Yeah.
she's a little bit of a bruiser. I love her.
Good
Yeah.
shout.
She really, really deserves all the hype for sure.
Mhm. A lot of people giving some love to Vanessa Gilles as well in the chat as the player that has done a really good job internationally with Canada and also
Yeah.
with club. So she is in this mix of defenders. Okay, goalkeeper of the year. This one, hey, not as many nominees, but
Oh,
still
look at
a
that.
lot. And Katrin Berger, Cole, Mary Earps, Endler, Hampton, Lorena Musovic, Nair, Panos, Sheridan, and Yashaide. Yeah, Alyssa Nair is in there. She's in the mix. We do get our American saying goodbye to the game, Mary Earps as well in this one. Christine, any standouts for you for goalkeeper of the year?
I mean, I feel like this is hard because obviously you want to go with like pure skill and otherwise, but like AKB, man, like she really had an outstanding
Yeah,
season. Like, I
she's
mean,
had a
both club
comeback
and
year too.
country, like some of the saves that she makes are like the unsavables that you're just like jaw on the floor. Really, really great. And also just the way that she's utilized is kind of like that more complete keeper that we've kind of seen this evolution of like, she essentially serves as like a stopper sometimes for Gotham. Um, Really, really talented, well-rounded keeper.
Berger could win this one. I could see it
Mhm.
happening, Sandra.
I would be disappointed if it's not Nair. Unserious award for me. If it's not Alyssa Nair, you've got to be absolutely
Wow.
bonkers. You've got
I'm
to be
okay with that. I'm
kidding
okay
me.
with that. I will not be heartbroken if
Yeah.
Nair pulls up or
If
Berger. I
AKB
feel
wins
like
it, if Berger, yes, I would get it, but I would still be like unserious. Like Alyssa Nair, she's riding off into the sunset on an incredible year. Incredible year. And we're talking post World Cup round of 16 exit that quite literally changed her entire DNA.
It did. Hey,
It
she
changed
saved it.
her entire DNA. And she went back to work and said, this is not happening again. And showed
Oh,
it multiple times throughout the course from August 2023 to August 2024. Alyssa Nair for me.
well,
100%.
January, we'll find out. That's when this ceremony is happening and everything. There's also the Women's Best Coach 2024 nominees. A lot of different coaches nominated in this one. Quickly, Sandra, any shouts for you who deserves this or maybe who got snubbed, who's not in this list for Coach of the Year?
And Hayes we trust. I'm going
Yeah.
with Hayes. I would have loved to have seen Steph Hides on there, but glad that Emma Hayes is on there.
yeah, that's a good shout. Um, Damn. I mean, yeah, a lot of these coaches really had absolute standout years. Excuse me. Artur Elias, Geraldes for sure. I
Yeah,
mean,
Geralda's had
coaching
a great
not
year.
one but two really successful teams. But yeah, I think the conversation starts and ends with Emma Hayes.
It has to be Emma Hayes, not only winning with Chelsea in the Super League, but then taking the
Olympic
American
gold same year.
Olympic
Come
gold.
on.
It's
Yeah.
insane. It has to go to Emma Hayes. Okay, it begs the question after we go through all of these FIFA the best nominees and a question I had, Sandra. I'm tossing it to you because you know all. What the heck is the difference between FIFA's Player of the Year and a Ballon d'Or?
Oh my goodness. I hate to simplify it. I think when we have our conversations about this, I'm just going to bring it on to the pod. But for me, this a huge part of this is an I feel statement. It's a Sandra opinion for sure. But for me, there's a little bit more seriousness around one award than the other. I think when we're looking at FIFA, this has been established for a long time. There has been recognition over the course of decades, really. And Ballon d'Or has kind of just arrived and they are still sort of trying to figure things out. There's also a difference in the voting processes for both of these awards. And I think with that comes that feeling of one is perhaps maybe a little bit more prestigious than the other. I think at the end of the day, they are both awards that players who get nominated for them will want to win, and they are tangible things that you can point at and say, here's something that I won. But as far as the layer of seriousness, I think there's one that ranks higher than the other at this moment, and it's the awards that roll out for FIFA.